Hey ladies and gentlemen, Wolfcrier here, and welcome to my zDPS Barbarian build guide, otherwise known as the Pull Barb. Okay, before we get into the gear and the skill setup for this build, let's go over your basic role in the 4-man group setup. Alright, first you are a creator of density. You wear Nemesis bracers, you use Furious Charge, you use your Ancient Spear, and a Facious Toxin. All of these are going to combine together and allow you to create density for your group. You're going to go around, pull stuff, you're going to choose where to fight, that type of thing, and you're just going to be able to pull everything towards the group, which is going to help your Witch Doctor and your Wizard or Demon Hunter to beat down that progression bar. Alright, another role that you have is Scout. You are going to scout for great places to fight with great density, and you are going to scout out pylons, and since you're wearing the Nemesis bracers, that is going to spawn another yellow pack for your group to beat down. Then, one of the most important jobs you have is keep Ignore Pain up on your group at all times, especially when there are affixes that are going to CC your group. They cannot become CC'd, because if your Z-Monk gets CC'd or if your DPS gets CC'd, then they could probably die, which is going to slow down your progression significantly. And Ignore Pain allows them not to be CC'd, and it's a great damage mitigator. On your gear, you are looking for cooldown, attack speed, and pretty much just basic defense. You're looking for strength, vitality, percent life, resistances, and that sort of thing. You are definitely looking to stay alive yourself. If you die, you're of no use to the group, and you are looking for a massive amount of cooldown. 65% or better is going to allow you to keep Ignore Pain up 100% of the time. Alright, let's dive into that gear, ladies and gentlemen. The first thing you're going to need is the 4-piece set bonus to the Legacy of Raycor set. This is going to pretty much allow you to Furious Charge at will throughout the Rift. And that is why you want the 4-piece set bonus. It's going to allow you to maneuver yourself very quickly through the Rift, pulling mobs, using your Facious Toxin as aggro, and your Ancient Spear to pull stuff towards the group. Next up, we've got Leoric's Crown. Increase the effect of any gem socketed into your helm by up to 100%. You're going to socket a diamond here, which is going to increase your cooldown reduction substantially. Then we have Nemesis bracers. Shrines will spawn an enemy champion. This is how you get that extra yellow pack for your group to beat down. You will be the only person clicking shrines. Then we have Pride of Cassius. Increases the duration of Ignore Pain by 4 to 6 seconds. This belt needs to have 6 seconds on it. Period. End of story. You need the 6 seconds. If you do not have the 6 seconds, cube this belt so that you get it. Because Ignore Pain has to be up on your group at all times, especially during battles where there are CC affixes on the mobs. Then we have Illusory Boots. These are going to allow you to move unhindered through enemies should your Furious Charge be on cooldown. This is going to allow you to navigate through the Rift, even if Furious Charge is on cooldown, so you don't get stuck anywhere. For one of your rings, you will be wearing the Oculus Ring. Chance to create an area of focus power on killing a monster. Damage is increased by up to 85% while your DPS stands in one of these circles. These power puddles are going to greatly increase your DPS's damage. Both you and the zDPS monk will be wearing one of these. For your other ring, you will be wearing an Obsidian Ring of the Zodiac. Reduce the remaining cooldown of one of your skills by 1 second when you hit with a resource spending attack, which includes your Ancient Spear. This is going to help with keeping your Ignore Pain ready to be cast so that it's up at 100% efficiency. For your amulet, I personally suggest a Hellfire amulet, and I will review the 5 passes that you are looking for. However, if you do not have a Hellfire amulet and do not want to go get one, you can use one of the resistance amulets for sure, because those are quite viable as well. For your weapon slots, I use Pig Sticker, Storm Shield, pretty much as stat sticks and defensive capabilities for my character. One thing you want to make sure is you have cooldown on both of these. And another viable option for your weapon slots is the little Rogue Slanderer set, which is what the top groups use. Now onto the cube. For your weapon slot, you want Selenium. Critical hits have a 4% chance to spawn a health globe. Now this means that on your bracers and maybe even your helm and maybe a ring or two, you want some crit chance, because your critical hits can spawn a health globe, which is going to help keep your DPS alive and help your Witch Doctor out especially. Now, one thing to remember is Selenium has a internal cooldown, so you are not going to just be able to spawn a whole bunch of health globes just by stacking crit chance. For your armor slot in the cube, Chilanix Chain. Using Warcry increases the movement speed for you and all allies by 40% for 10 seconds. Like I said previously, if your Pride of Cassius does not have 6 seconds on it, definitely cube that one and wear your Chilanix Chain. For your jewelry slot, you want Band of Might. After casting Furious Charge, Ground Stomp, or Leap, take 60% reduced damage for 8 seconds, and you will be utilizing Furious Charge quite a bit during GRs. Now onto your gems. I use Esoteric Alteration. You gain non-physical damage reduction, and when below half-life, your resistances to cold, fire, lightning, poison, and arcane are increased by 75%. This gem is very useful in keeping yourself alive. Like I said, when zDPS go down, you are of no use to your group. Esoteric Alteration helps maintain your life. Then we have Gem of Effacious Toxin. Poison all enemies hit over 10 seconds. All enemies that you poison take 10% increased damage from all sources and deal 10% less damage. Not only that, but the poison that is put on them acts as an aggro to make mobs come towards you, so you do not always have to spear them if they are close enough to come at you. And that is pretty useful, since you only get pretty much 2 spears on an enemy before it becomes immune for 3 seconds. And your last gem is going to be Gogok of Swiftness. Gain swiftness with every attack, increasing your attack speed and your dodge chance for 4 seconds. This effect stacks up to 15 times, and you gain 1% cooldown reduction per stack of swiftness, which is awesome because that is going to bring your cooldown to where it needs to be. Cooldown is king with this build. Now let's take a look at the skills. Threatening Shout Falter. This is going to increase the damage done to the mobs by 25%. Then we have Ancient Spear Rage Flip. This is what's going to allow you to pull enemies like Scorpion from Mortal Kombat to your group. Then we have Furious Charge. It does not matter what rune you use, because you get every single rune thanks to your 4-piece Raycor set. This is what's going to allow you to maneuver around the rift, pulling in mobs and creating massive density for your DPS to just beat down, like I said. Then we have Warcry Impunity. You can also use Veterans here. This is a damage mitigation buff because it either gives you armor or the resistances, whatever your group needs more. And the skill of all skills, Ignore Pain, Mob Rule. This is going to allow your DPS and your zDPS monk to not be CC'd, and it's going to offer the group some damage mitigation as well. This is your main role in the group. Other than creating density, you want to keep mob rule up at all times. Then we have ground stomp, jarring slam. This is going to allow you to create even more health globes for your witch doctor and to help keep your group alive. Now for your passives, you're looking at pound of flesh. When you are healed by a health globe, you gain life regen and movement speed for 15 seconds, and this bonus stacks up to 5 times. Health globes should be plentiful since you're going to be creating them. Then we have Nerves of Steel. Fatal damage instead reduces you to 15% life, and you take 95% reduced damage and are immune to all control impairing effects, which shouldn't be a problem anyways, since your mob rule should be up at all times. Then we have Inspiring Presence. The duration of your shouts is doubled, and after using a shout, you and all allies within 100 yards regenerate 3% of your maximum life every second for 120 seconds. This is going to be a good buff to your group. Then I use Superstition. Reduce all non-physical damage by 20%. And your 5th stat is Relentless. While below 35% life, all skills cost 50% less fury. Life per fury spent is doubled, and all damage taken is reduced by 50%. If you do not have a Hellfire Amulet, trade out Relentless for Pound of Flesh because Relentless is more useful. But if you are able to get 5, use all 5 of these. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so very much for checking out this build guide. I greatly appreciate it. Make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and guys, let me know in the comments what you think of this build guide. And once again, I have to say, thank you so very much. Peace.